Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. So I finally got back onto the test server. This has been an ongoing issue since about Wednesday, but I want to check out the unlimited summons because this is going to be coming to AFK Arena and it's going to be coming very soon. I think I have to turn on some of the settings in here just to have this a little bit. Don't want the alt animations, don't want a couple things. So let's look at the unlimited summons. A lot of players were kind of questioning what exactly this is. So this is something that we have seen, I think it was about a year or two ago. But you have the ability to go in here and summon heroes until the point you're happy with the summon, which is pretty cool. So let's run through exactly what this kind of looks like. So during the event, you may use 10x summons unlimited times, but you can only take from one draw. That's right. So you're looking for essentially an awakened hero that you're looking for specifically, and then looking for a celestial or a hypo, and possibly one or two more heroes out of there, depending on what you get. If you get a more satisfactory result, you may substitute it for a previous record. So it actually lets you record or lets you set aside one summon that could be the best summon that you see. And I want to run through this in a minute. But once you pick one summon, you are done with this event. You can select and confirm from a current summon or the recorded summon. Once you confirm, you receive the corresponding heroes. Once the summoning result has been confirmed, you can no longer summon in this event. It is done. Have to be in 16-1 or VIP 6. And the unlimited summon does not include dimensional heroes or draconic heroes or any heroes after July 30th of 2025. So the runway in this is very, very short. But you can see because it does have a little bit of overlap, because you'll notice it's 24 days, which I believe in totality, it's like 28 days. I think you have about a month. Now looking at probabilities, you can see the awakened heroes are a lot higher as well as the elite heroes. So let's go ahead and do some summons. You can see all the cards right here. So let's do a 10 summon. So this is traditionally how we see when we do a regular summons. We can do a quick flip right here. Boom, off the bat, we get Baden. So pretty cool to see. Now you'll notice that we can go in here, nice results for your first 10 summons. Do we want to try again for something better? You can tap record the summon. If we want to keep it, boom, we'll go ahead and record that. This is the summon that we got. Now, since we've recorded it, if we wanted to keep this summon or if we wanted to go back to this summon, we absolutely could. And then you have to be careful because you do not want to confirm right here. If you confirm, you are locking in the summon. So let's go ahead and summon again. And I want to knock out a couple of these to see. Now, of course, anytime that we do not see an awakened hero, we're going to go ahead and we're going to summon again. And some players have actually run this and have run this for 2, 3, 4 hours to get a hero that they're looking for. There's a double right there, Villanelle, and then we do get Torn. So again, you want to go through here. You want an Awakened, you want a Celestial or a Hypo based on, and I really wish they did something like a wish list in here. There's a copy of the Twins, so we do pick up a Celestial, and there we go. So there is an Awakened version of Thorin. Unfortunately, we get Lucius. Now you can run this again as many times as you want, but there will be a point. All of the current includes awakened heroes. Are you sure we want to perform? Yes, it says current shows an awakened hero. Do we want to continue? Yes, go through here. And again, some of these, it might take a considerable amount of time. Most of the players or the best summons that we've seen is including, again, a Celestial and or a Hypo with an awakened hero with possibly 1 or 2 heroes. Again, you can sit here, you can see till you get to the point, there's the awakened version of Belinda, and then we have Pharrell, so we're not going to keep that one either. Now, one thing to note is there we have Athalia and we have Golas, is when you're looking at the heroes, so do we want to, nope, don't remind me. So going out of here, we want to make sure that you go in here with the mindset of exactly who you want to build. That is the way to really play this. When you look at the current heroes, when you're thinking of like Envy might be an absolute priority, but then we look at, let's say, for instance, in here, we know again, Envy, and again, I finally got this thing loaded, but looking down here, we do have Envy down here, which is one that we want to look. So thinking of even secondary summons or really the sub that you're looking for, if we're looking in here at some of the heroes, Darren Mira, I feel like would be a good choice. So pulling a copy again, if the awakened hero that you're looking for is Envy, and then, of course, building a support hero, Nox would be a very good choice. But even thinking of our Celestials and our Hypos, looking in here, Aurelia would be a really good choice. Demia would go a really good choice. And then even looking at some of the utility heroes, like looking at the awakened version of Estrella right now, again, as an awakened hero, as a choice you could have in there. but those would be kind of my choices in thinking even, let's say, the awakened version of Iran, possibly the awakened version of Thorin. So you have quite a few in here. And again, it's going to be very dependent with the summons exactly who you're looking for. So me personally on this account, I'd be looking for Envy and probably Liberta because I don't have Liberta built. There is a copy of Lucius. Again, we're not going to keep that. We want to see if we can get something better. There's a copy of Sophia. But overall, like I said, you can do this time and time again until the point you get a summons. And guys, let me know down below if you're playing on the test server. Let me know what heroes, and there's a triple right there, guys. We get Zekas and we do get Palmer, so pretty decent, but no awakened hero. And honestly, in this game mode, the awakened heroes are the priority. When you look at, the out of this summons, the most difficult heroes to get within AFK Arena, it is going to be, and there's the awakened version of Iran, but this is going to be absolutely looking. There is Shamira for a combination of 2 or 3 heroes. With, again, primarily thinking about what you need now, also thinking the 4 factions. So when we look at the primary 4 faction heroes, I really wouldn't dedicate or wouldn't worry about building any of those, just for the simple fact you can use the desired hero summons. It's going to be a lot easier to build them when you're going through and building out the combination. You can see with the rates, you do get them quite a bit. Haven't seen Envy yet. So haven't seen Envy. There is a copy of Matria. First generation, probably second generation, I wouldn't even bother with, just for the sake of the awakened heroes. But looking at Envy, looking at the awakened version of Athalia, again, thinking of Iran, Thorin, Leica, even Estrilda would be the solid choice to pick out of here. But it's pretty cool. Again, this is something that we did years ago. So there's Lysander and Sophia. If I was looking to build, if I wanted to get a copy of Sophia, Lysander might be a hero worth building just because we have seen a lot more utility of the hero. It took him a while to find the place within AFK Arena, but once we got to the point of actually finding where he's working in a couple different formations, it's worked well. So there is Villanelle and Shamira. And you can sit here and you can go through this. There's the awakened version of Athalia. Again, a very good choice in there. But interesting because it said July of 2025. So Envy was long ago, but I also haven't seen Zora, which I was kind of hoping that we'd get either of those in here to see, because most of the awakened heroes, and I'm assuming they're included, because we've seen Sophia, we've seen Iran, we've seen quite a few heroes, but I'm wondering because we have Zora, we have Estrilda, there's a copy of Ika, Zora, Estrilda, and Envy. I'm wondering, again, kind of thinking of the release there again is Iran. Pretty good summon, even though 2 elites in there were kind of horrible. But I want to make sure that they're available in here. That is kind of a question. So there we go. There is, again, Belinda. We've seen more than a few times. A triple right there, guys. We got Navy, the rest of those kind of trash. And boom, there is the awakened version of Matandra. So that's the first one we've seen right there. And now you also have to remember is that 4% for the awakened hero. We do, and there we go. So there's Zora. So it just takes the time. But what I was saying is the 4% for the awakened heroes, guys, we have a lot of awakened heroes that are available in AFK Arena. To pull them out of there, there's Leica. But still, we've seen Zora, so no Envy. There's Zora again. There's Misha. Good, solid support if you're looking in there. There is Eugene. Now, Eugene, of course, do not pull. You can get him for free. There is Thorin, again, with a couple other copies. But I want to see Envy or Estrilda. Those are really the 2. And there is the Chad. Shows up with Vithiel. But the summons overall, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's almost like a massive summons that you have in here. But overall, you can get some really, really cool cards in here. Or some copies of the heroes themselves, which I definitely like to see. There's another copy of Eugene. And I'm assuming they're both in here. I'm assuming we have the ability to get Estrilda and we have the ability to get Envy in here. Again, Envy would be my priority. Getting them up and building them up to 1-star would be the first one. There's a third copy, and there is Orthos as well. Still seeing some of that crazy utility with Orthos. There is Shamira, and look at that. Alvida as well. Some of those big meta heroes that we're seeing. The original version of Thane right there. Very, very cool to see the build on all of the heroes right here. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Definitely wanted to share what is going on. Now, we also do have the Golden Frontier, which enrollment stops in 45 minutes. So I'm going to have to check out and see exactly what that's about. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.